Afternoon. It's 2:28 on a Monday. We came to work today at 3:30 this morning. It's now 2:30. And we just got our dispatch gave me my last run. She said head over to the Spice Company and pick up the empty and take it back to the international shipping terminal, and after that you can shut it down. So that'll be 3:30. It'll be a 12-hour day. So that's what we're doing, making our way over to this distributor that distributes all kinds of exotic spices. I dropped this container off. It was like one of my last containers on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's the last container on Monday. Came here on Friday. I thought this place was abandoned, but it was so cluttered. So we'll get this hooked up, give it a quick pre-trip, and we'll make our way out of here. Alright, everything looks good. Brake check. at the bus stop with his flashers on, but nobody was getting on or off the bus. I wonder if they're training or something. So 2:35 is the pickup. See how long it takes us to get there. Making our way down here to Kamehameha Highway. Straight ahead is Makalapa Gate. It's the second largest gate into Pearl Harbor. So you go straight, you need some type of ID to get past the guards. Some type of military ID or pass. Trucks aren't allowed in this gate because it's not the designated gate for commercial traffic. That would be the Halaba Gate. So it's been a pretty productive day. We came in at 3:30. We took a load of mayonnaise down to the satellite warehouse for the big grocery store distribution company on the island. Bobtailed back to our terminal and picked up a second load, a full 45-foot container full of seasoning and soup bases. You know, that bouillon type stuff. Took that back to the main warehouse for the big grocery store distribution. By that time, dispatch was in, so we could call them up and ask if there were any empties around. And just across the street was an empty that I delivered earlier last week at a medical supply warehouse. So we picked that up, took it back to the shipping terminal, at which point we picked up an LTL and took that back to our terminal. From there we picked up a load of consolidated freight going to Maui. Took that over to the inner island shipping terminal, dropped it off. That was a 40-foot container. After we dropped that, we picked up a 20-foot empty from the inner island shipping terminal. Took that back to our terminal. That's going to be the consolidated freight going to Lanai tomorrow. At that point, we picked up another full 40-foot container, consolidated freight going to Seattle. So we had to take that out to Barber's Point, Deep Draft Harbor, where they have a barge, tug and barge company that goes from here to Seattle. Dropped that off, and by that time the first container with the mayonnaise was empty. So we went and picked that up, took it back to the shipping terminal. They said go ahead and head back to pick up the second empty now that had the bouillon and seasoning in it. When we picked that up though, it had 3 pallets of returns on it. Stuff that wasn't on the purchase order. Like most of it was like cheddar cheese seasoning. So we had to take that back to our terminal and fill out OS&D paperwork and get it squared away. At which point we then took the empty back to the shipping terminal and got rid of it. And that's when they said, go and pick up this, make it your last run. So that's what we're doing. Making our way past the Honolulu International Airport to the right. Airport has also been renamed the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport. to the Honolulu Harbor, Pier 1, where the international shipping terminal is located. So this weekend on Saturday, we had a little bit of a memorial rollout for a driver that passed away. We were supposed to do it 2 weeks ago, but it got postponed. So we did it last Saturday. And I made a video, but I don't post videos with, I try not to post videos with too much music on YouTube because you get these copyright infringement problems. But if you go over to my Facebook page, which I am not a Facebook person, the last time I posted anything on Facebook was over 4 years ago. So I'm not even sure I did it right, but I did. As far as I know, it's public. You just go to my name and hopefully you can see that if you want. Like I said, it's got music, so I don't put it on YouTube. This is typical Nimitz Highway. It's almost always like this, bumper to bumper, light to light. It moves along, it just doesn't move real fast. It moves along at like 15, 20 miles an hour. In the downtown Honolulu area. This and Ala Moana Boulevard, which actually is the same road. Nimitz Highway becomes Ala Moana Boulevard when we pass the Aloha Tower. shipping terminal, which we just passed. So that's why I try to avoid this right lane, especially on Mondays when they're open, because it has a tendency to back up quite often. Yesterday we did a photo shoot for the Kaneohe Basketball League, which it's been at least a year, I think, since we done that particular photo shoot. And boy, has that league grown. Holy cow, it must be twice the size it was before. So that's a good sign that the sports is coming back. COVID really put a dent in the sports. For a while there, I thought people weren't having kids anymore. Teams kept getting smaller and smaller. But there seems to be a renewed interest in sports again. At least with that league. We got soccer coming up next month. Yeah. Because of that, I've been working like every day of the week this week. And this 12-hour day is getting old. I'm glad it's my last run. Just got to get past the construction in the downtown area. Hopefully at this time of day they're packing things up, opening up the roads, picking up the cones. in here today, so I gotta make my way through security. That's the one thing I don't like about Cummins motors is they take so long to start. If that was a Detroit diesel, it'd be first crank. Look at all those Amazon vans. They're gonna put half the island out of business, you watch. This is another terminal where the unlocking of the pins is done by a union worker. This is the time of year when we get the king tides or the high tides, the extreme high tides. That's probably why there's water in the yard here. The high tides, but you don't get the big surf like you do during the winter. Winter we get big waves, but the tides are lower. 20s. The last thing I need to do is to fall off this truck. They're not of much use in Hawaii anyway, because of all the driveways that we go in and out of, and because of the type of chassis that we haul, we have to keep this fifth wheel all the way back. Which means even with the 40, the front of the trailer's right about here, so it's not really doing much. Normally on the mainland you'd have a different type of trailer, and it would end right here with this beats, and you get some extra protection, but it's of little use to me, I think, other than to trip me. So I usually take them off. Now that it's my truck, that's what I'm going to do. That's it. We can go and shut it down. We just got to make our way back to the terminal. It's about 1.5 miles away, but we got to go through the downtown area again and all that traffic. That's it. We can shut it down. I'm gonna miss this air conditioning the second I turn it off. And there you are. So busy day. We came in at 3:30. We'll be out of here at 3:30. 12-hour day, 11 container movements. We drove 215 miles. Another 200-mile day. That's very rare. In the past, that happened maybe a handful of times a year. Seems to be happening more and more often now, though. So my old truck, the 353, is probably going to sit there for a while. There's a toolbox behind the cab. It's got a bunch of tools in it. This truck has a toolbox also, but it's right there on the side of the truck. So I'm going to take everything out of there, take everything out of there, and then see what I want to put in here, and what I don't want I'll put back in there. But I'm not going to do that today. I think I might do that tomorrow morning if I have a later start. If I have an early start, I won't do that. I'll just put it off again. There's too much stuff in the truck right now. The bucket's got to go. I always keep the toolbox and these tools, and then whatever else goes in the toolbox outside. Need to mount the fan. It mounts right here. I've done it before, so just got to find the screws. Few things to do. Other than that, though, we're all done for the day, headed home. We got some leftovers from the weekend, of course, but I think we have some mahi fillets I'm thinking about doing. And we got one more black cod fillet, which I know my wife really wants to do, but I'm feeling like mahi because the leftovers we have will go well with that. But that is it for today. Thanks for watching. Aloha.